Have you ever walked away from a conversation with your grown child and felt a strange heaviness in your chest? Not because of what was said, but because of how it was said. Maybe it was a tone, a word, or even a subtle shift in how they looked at you. If you're over 60, 70, or beyond, you already know there comes a time when the dynamic between parent and child begins to shift. And sometimes that shift brings joy, closeness, even gratitude. But other times, it brings confusion, disrespect, and quiet pain that lingers long after the conversation ends. Welcome back to Wellness for Modern Seniors, my modern and unstoppable seniors. Today, we're diving deep into a topic many older parents are afraid to talk about, but it's time we shine light on it. Because the words your adult children use can be more than just passing comments. Sometimes they're red flags waving loudly. Today, I'll walk you through 5 dangerous phrases that, if you hear them from your child, deserve your full attention and sometimes even your quiet exit. These aren't just careless remarks. They're indicators of power imbalance, emotional manipulation, or deep misunderstandings that, left unchecked, can wear down your confidence and identity. But here's the good news. By recognizing these phrases, you can protect your peace and reclaim your place in the relationship. So let's begin. Number 1. You're just being sensitive. On the surface, it sounds like a harmless nudge. Maybe they even said it with a chuckle, like they were trying to lighten the mood. But when your child tells you this after you've shared something that hurt, bothered, or disappointed you, it becomes something else entirely. It becomes a way to silence your emotions. It tells you, whether they meant to or not, that your feelings are invalid. But you, my modern and unstoppable seniors, are not just being sensitive. You've lived through decades of real life losses, victories, heartbreak, and healing. Your emotions are not a weakness. They are wisdom trying to speak. One woman named Janet, 74, shared with me how she once told her daughter that it stung to be left out of a family gathering. Her daughter shrugged and said, "You're just being sensitive, Mom." That one sentence stuck with Janet for weeks, not because it was cruel, but because it dismissed something real. Don't let anyone, especially your own child, reduce your truth to an overreaction. If this phrase shows up repeatedly in your relationship, it's time to draw a boundary. Remind them that respect means listening, even when the feelings are uncomfortable. And if they can't do that, walking away with dignity is sometimes the only path forward. Number 2. If it weren't for me, you'd be lost. Now, this one hits differently. It might come out during an argument, or after they've helped you with something, maybe setting up your online banking, taking you to an appointment, or helping around the house. But listen closely. When your child says something that implies your survival depends entirely on them, it's not gratitude they're expressing, it's control. This phrase flips the script. It paints you as helpless, as if your entire life and value now depends on them. But that's not the truth. Yes, we all need support as we age. But needing help is not the same as being powerless. You are not less than because you lean on others. One gentleman, Arthur, now 82, told me that after he moved in with his son following a stroke, his son began making every decision: what Arthur could eat, where he could go, who he could talk to. When Arthur finally asked for a little more independence, his son snapped, "You'd be lost without me." Those words haunted him. The very man who once stood tall, provided for a family, led a company, was now made to feel like a shadow of himself. My modern and unstoppable seniors, let me say this clearly. Needing help doesn't mean giving up your dignity. If someone uses your vulnerabilities against you, it's not help, it's control. And you have every right to reclaim your space, your choices, and your voice. Number 3. You don't understand how the world works anymore. Perhaps one of the most painful sentences an older parent can hear. It's often said during disagreements, maybe about politics, parenting styles, finances, or even social norms. But what this phrase really says is, your experience is outdated. And that is simply untrue. Yes, the world has changed, but your insights are not relics. They are the roots that younger generations stand on. When your child brushes off your perspective with this phrase, they're not just disagreeing, they're dismissing. One of my viewers, Ruth, 77, told me she once gave advice to her grandson about saving money, only to hear her daughter chime in, "Mom, you don't understand how the world works anymore." Imagine hearing that after surviving inflation, recessions, raising a family on a tight budget, and planning for a future with nothing but grit and wisdom. It stung, and worse, it made her feel invisible. But here's the truth. Your perspective is still valid. Your values still matter. And while you may not know the latest app or slang word, you know about life something no internet tutorial can teach. So if your child speaks to you this way, take a breath. Don't argue. Just know in your heart that their inability to receive your wisdom says more about their immaturity than your relevance. You're not here to be silenced, you're here to be honored. Number 4. Why can't you just do what I say? This phrase often sneaks in during care decisions, when to take medicine, whether to move into assisted living, or even what to eat. It might sound like frustration, like your child is trying to make things easier. But behind those words is something dangerous, the erasure of your autonomy. This sentence turns a parent into a child. It removes your right to ask questions, to express preferences, to say no. One man, Leonard, age 80, shared with me that after a few falls, his daughter insisted he sell his car and give up driving. When he hesitated just to talk about it, she snapped, "Why can't you just do what I say?" In that moment, Leonard felt not only unheard, but controlled. He wasn't trying to be difficult. He simply wanted a say in his own life. My modern and unstoppable seniors, even when our bodies slow down, our minds and spirits deserve respect. You have every right to participate in decisions about your life. If your child forgets that and begins speaking at you instead of with you, it's okay to pause the conversation. Say clearly, "I'm not ready to decide that right now." And if they can't hear that, step back. Protect your peace until they remember that you're not a child to be managed. You're a person to be respected. Number 5. I don't have time for this. Now, this one may seem small, maybe even rushed. Perhaps your child says it when you bring up a concern, ask for help, or try to have a deeper conversation. But the message lands hard. You're not worth my time. Nothing cuts quite like being made to feel like a burden, especially by someone you raised with love. Time is our most precious gift. And when someone tells you they don't have time for you, not once, but again and again, it creates a wound that's hard to name. Dorothy, 85, once tried to talk to her son about her loneliness after moving to a new apartment. He looked at his phone and sighed. "Mom, I don't have time for this." She said she felt like she vanished in that moment, like her heartache wasn't even worth 5 minutes. But here's what I told her, and what I'll tell you. You deserve presence. You deserve care. And if someone doesn't have time to honor your emotions, that is their limitation, not yours. If your child repeatedly dismisses your feelings or avoids meaningful connection, it may be time to stop chasing their attention and start investing in people who truly value your presence, whether that's friends, neighbors, or even your own. Quiet joy. Final thoughts. My modern and unstoppable seniors, these 5 phrases, you're just being sensitive. If it weren't for me, you'd be lost. You don't understand how the world works anymore. Why can't you just do what I say? I don't have time for this may seem small on the surface, but when repeated, they chip away at something sacred, your dignity. You've lived too long, given too much, and carried too many burdens to be treated as less than. And while it may hurt to walk away, to set boundaries with those you love, it is sometimes the strongest, most loving thing you can do. Not to punish them, but to protect your soul. Love should never come at the cost of respect. If anything in this video resonated with you, please let me know in the comments. Share your story or simply comment "I'm still standing" to let me know you're here and claiming your strength. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Wellness for Modern Seniors and turn on that bell notification, because we're here for you every week, shining a light on the truths too often kept quiet. Until next time, remember this: your voice matters, your presence matters, and you are not alone. Not now, not ever.